So as a lot of you guys are aware, Mindy Kaling has been that person that has received the brunt of most of the damage regarding Velma. When Velma first came out, Mindy Kaling was promoting the show left and right on her Twitter feed. She was also promoting the fact that Velma was the most biggest premiere out of any animated show ever on HBO Max. It had the top premiere ever in history for that streaming platform. And of course, as you guys are aware, that's like the competition of what, 3 other shows, maybe 2 other shows. So I mean, really, like, what are you really trying to claim? Again, when it comes to Velma, they have not released their viewership numbers. There's a reason why they haven't released their viewership numbers. I talk about this all the time on the channel, and it's because anytime a streaming platform is not proud of the product that they put out, they're never going to talk about the actual viewership numbers. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to specify a particular number that's going to make them look the best in the public eye. And in this scenario, it had to do with the social media engagement for Velma, but not the actual viewership itself. Now, with that being said, they did try to tout that it had massive viewership because of the whole, oh, it's the biggest premiere ever on HBO Max, right? They tried to say that, but now we officially have the Nielsen ratings, and this is something that I've been waiting for a while. Shout out to Ryan Kindle for dropping a video on this. I am taking the idea from you. Sorry, brother, but you came out with good information, and I feel like my subscribers need to know this as well, even though we do share a lot of viewership. So let's get into the actual numbers, guys. This is something that I've been waiting for a long time. We have the Nielsen ratings, okay? Now, this is for the week of January 9th to 15th, 2023. This is when the show actually premiered. And now, as you can see, Velma is nowhere to be found on the top 10 list. It is nowhere to be found on the overall list. It's nowhere to be found on the original list. And it would show up on the original because that's what it is. It's an original animated show. It should belong here on this actual list. But unfortunately for Velma, it's been completely destroyed by literally every other possible TV show out there. And the crazy thing is, Netflix continues to dominate. As much people hate Netflix, they continue to dominate on all social platforms and all Nielsen ratings, especially in the original sector, where they have 9 out of the 10 top spots. That's insane that they have 9 out of the 10 top spots. So Netflix continues to dominate there. But in terms of overall, still, again, HBO Max is only here with Friends. It's not even here with Velma. And this is for a show that's supposed to have the biggest premiere ever? I mean, come on, guys. They like to say that Velma was the most watched show ever and that it was more popular than The Last of Us. And I guarantee you, when this list goes further in time and goes to the time where The Last of Us actually released, you're going to see The Last of Us very high up here on this list. And that's going to further prove that they are full of crap regarding their numbers for Velma. They've been trying to hide the numbers for ages now. They haven't released it. It's 10 episodes past. Season 1 is over, and they haven't released viewership numbers for any episode. Not the first one, not the second one, none of them. Now, here's the interesting about all of this. Mindy Kaling on her Twitter feed, if you guys check out Mindy Kaling's Twitter feed, you'll notice something missing. And like I said, shout out to Ryan Kindle for checking this out. She tweeted on January 11th saying, "So excited for you guys to see this tomorrow, Jenkins indeed." So she's talking about the release of Velma, obviously, right? And then after that, it goes to January 17th, which is curious because there was a tweet on January 12th and there was also a tweet on January 15th that has magically deleted. And those tweets were her basically praising the show and releasing the image about how it was the top most viewed show ever on HBO Max for an animated series premiere. She had posted that tweet and now she has deleted both tweets. It makes you wonder, why did Mindy Kaling actually delete those tweets? What is the reason for her deleting these tweets? In my opinion, she's trying to run away from the fact that now the truth is out of the bag. She's trying to distance herself from this show as much as she possibly can because it has come out that the truth is Velma is trash. If the first episode of Velma didn't make the top 10 of the list, I guarantee you 2 to 10 didn't make the list either. Because the first episode was the one that people would normally hate watch, just like the Rings of Power. If they're hate watching anything, it's going to be the first episode. If the first episode is not here, I guarantee you that show is nowhere to be found on the top 10 list. And I'm going to keep looking at the Nielsen ratings past this week that they have now for January 9th to the 15th. I'm going to look at the Nielsen ratings and continue to see if Velma even pops up at all. Maybe you could give them the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, okay, there was more drama from episodes 2, 3, and 4 and onward as people started to talk about it more and more and more. You might have a point there. So let's see if Velma shows up at all in the top 10 list, whether for overall or original. If it's going to show up anywhere, it has a higher chance of showing up on original than overall. But still, I think it's hilarious that Mindy Kaling is trying to run away and hide from the fact that she was so bold about Velma. That Velma was the greatest thing since sliced bread. That, oh, white people are bad. All this stuff that Mindy Kaling has tried to promote with this show, and she's been pretty damn quiet on Twitter. She hasn't posted up until recently on February 8th, where she had to say something about LeBron James, of course, another person who hates white people. But until then, she didn't post since January 17th. She doesn't really use her Twitter nowhere near as much as she used to because she was getting a ton of backlash, obviously, from Velma. So I think it's pretty hilarious that Mindy Kaling has gone into hiding. I think it's pretty funny that she no longer feels the need to defend Velma. And honestly, who should defend Velma? I don't think this show should be defended at all. It's very clear that this show has completely bombed in every way imaginable. It's only got 6,100 followers on Twitter. For the most popular show on HBO Max for an animated series ever, really? 6,100 followers, that's it? That seems a little sus to me. So again, the Velma show, unfortunately for them, is nowhere near as successful as they want to try to make it seem like it is. They definitely like to come out and pretend as if the show is the most watched show ever. But ultimately, the show just falls flat, and it's not going to be anything close to what they thought it was going to be. So I am super excited to finally announce that. I'm glad the numbers have come out for Nielsen ratings, and I'm glad that they now have to face these numbers publicly. Now you can't hide. You can't run away. You cannot hide from the numbers. These are what the numbers really are. Nielsen has finally exposed Velma for what it is. It's a woke mega flop, the likes of which we haven't seen in a while since Rings of Power. Maybe not as financially, but just in terms of social media backlash, it is definitely one of the biggest woke flops of 2023. And that's saying something because we're getting started in this year pretty damn strong. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.